Okay, good afternoon. I'm Marcia Weber. Gardens to Love is my company, and at Gardens to Love we create beauty. Terry Bond has invited me out here to Westchester Square today to talk about the common area and the possibilities for it. Right now it's a mixture of moss and seedling grass, and the moss is taken over beautifully. Moss grows in the spring and the fall, and it goes dormant in the summer and later in the winter. So now is a pretty time out here in the common with the moss and the bits of grass that are growing here. This seems to me to be absolutely ideal conditions for moss, and for the grass that's here is simply opportunistic grass. But it's ideal conditions for moss because of the heavy shade all around that will, and the tree roots that will always suppress grass. And we've got tree roots over here that are popping up, and it's good not to be trying to mow over those or weed eat over those, because that's live wood there that's feeding these wonderful big trees. I understand there has been some discussion about artificial grass, and we're seeing more and more of that. I will say that it does take a lot of preparation, and it will add more compaction to this area, because you do have to have a compacted base of granite, sand, and gravel upon which you lay 2 layers of artificial material. And with these trees, you're always going to have lumps and bumps in your artificial grass because, again, of the massive amount of tree roots here. That has to be considered. My recommendation for you all is to allow this to stay in this natural state. It is the most economical, and it is the best thing for the health of these trees that are such a big part of your community. Again, it's really quite attractive to have this moss here now, and it is what Mother Nature is asking for. If you wanted to consider artificial turf, I would only say a small portion of it, perhaps where the drain is over there or something like that. I wouldn't suggest the entire area. As it is now, once again, this is what Mother Nature is asking for, and this is what we should respect. Wonderful live roots here, and my suggestion would be that we increase this bed size slightly so that there's no walking on it, and of course we don't want people to trip on it either. These tall roots here are a trip hazard. They're only going to come up out of the ground further, so let's consider expanding this bed line by about 12 inches here. I also like this leary oak that is growing here and there, and I would like to see it expanded. There's lots of areas where the leary oak could be expanded. Yes, it's a bit of an initial expense, but it actually will save money by not having to add mulch to those areas year after year. And I think we need that green band here along this walkway. I'd like to see that. I've got a suggestion here, and that is to take out these bricks that are just laid on top of the ground here, and let's make this bed bigger, and let's add more leary oak. I'd like to see lots of areas here on the property lushed up, more green, less brown. I've got a suggestion here, and that is to take out these bricks that are just laid on top of the ground here, and let's make this bed bigger, and let's add more leary oak. I'd like to see lots of areas here on the property lushed up, more green, less brown. I've got another recommendation, and that is that these cherry laurels, these two, this mass right here comes out, and then all of this half dead root mass here gets ground out with a stump grinder. There's also a stump down there as you're entering that needs to be ground out as well.